Guys, welcome back to the channel. Is it fast? We have some high-end castings this time. I know we've been running a lot of lightweights recently, but today we're going to get a little bit more serious. We have two Sol-Aires. We have a mint race bait 308 gold hot ones. Never had one of those before. And we dug out a red Noodlehead. I haven't run this thing in a while, so we're going to find out together if that thing is fast. We're going to start out with this Park and Plate Sol-Aire. Yeah, I'm starting to dig out to the bottom of the tiers that I used to run. That's been a while. Guys, I don't even know when I did that last, but for the new guys, I used to have like a top 90, and they ended up all being heavy metal on metal killers, and that's why it was starting to not be fun. You know, they were all just almost as equally fast, and so I'm digging out some of these that were killers that I haven't run in months, if not over a year. Um, this Park and Plate Sol-Aire is one of them. Beautiful casting, rare in terms of its paint color, specific to that series, the Park and Plate series. And with Park and Plates, you either had them that had the rear wing with the see-through, or they were filled in. I don't know which one's faster. I really don't. Right now, we'll put him in the blocks. We'll go set the spacer. We'll be right back. We'll get him some hot laps. Before we get him going, we'll check his weight at 58.6 grams. And now we'll check his speed. My guess is somewhere in the 2050s. Anything faster, I'm going to be excited. Kind of a bad start, but we'll see what he does here. 57, 2057. We will switch lanes and we'll get his hot lap number 2. He has a real bad rear wheel, guys, so that's why I was hoping for even just a 2040s, which is okay. Not elite or anything, but for this guy, that'd be pretty good. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's not good. 2061. Let's try him up against the gatekeeper and see how he does. All right, guys, the gatekeeper in the 51 to 62 metal right now is one of those fat Chevelles. I actually found one. Can you believe it? They usually have a limit to them, and this one seems to have a little more than the others I've run. 62.2 grams. What a beast. Seriously, what a beast. I pick them up if they're a buck. They're worth that. I don't know if you're ever going to find an elite one. You might. This one's pretty quick. But right now, he has to defend his 10th place spot against this Park and Plate Sol-Aire. One of these guys is going to be the gatekeeper. So we'll see how this goes. Ooh, the Sol-Aire edged him out. I thought the Chevelle was going to get the light. 55 to 57. We have a 2/1000 speed. The advantage goes to the Sol-Aire. Let's get him to the top. Race 2. There's a lot of Chevelle on that one. 2044 to 2050. Chevelle holds his gatekeeper spot, but we move the Sol-Aire into the number 11 position. I'm sure he's not going to last long, but at least he's in the ranks for a little bit. And there he is for right now, number 11. You know what? I'm lying to you. I expanded this class because there's so many fast ones. And so for right now, he's number 14. Sorry about that, guys. We'll review. I did expand that class because there's not a lot of castings that are 51 to 62 plastic. So I made that a top 9. But there's a hell of a lot of beasts that are 51 to 62 metal. And so I expanded that. You'll see here to the top 15. It starts with this Ferrari, and it rolls the whole way down to number 14, Sol-Aire. So glad we can just talk about that a little bit. But yeah, just in the 51 to 62 metal, I expanded that class just because there's so many killers, and wanted to make sure if there's any reworks that if cars are able to move up, they can do that. All right, let's get to the other Sol-Aire and we'll talk about him. Okay, right around the same time, the parking plates issued a limited run of cars. California Customs did the same thing. And this is a very sought after California Custom Sol-Aire. You'll see these on eBay, usually at a top dollar. So let's get him in the on the scale, and then I'll go set the spacer, and we'll get him a couple of hot laps. 59.1, nice weight. Okay, he's in the rack, and I will be right back. California Custom Sol-Aire, hot lap number 1. What do we got there? 51. Just a little better than that parking plates. Let's see if we can get a little more out of him on hot lap number 2. California Custom Sol-Aire, hot lap number 2. There we go. Nice time there, nice time. 2046. He was always a really good runner. Let's put him in the ranks, see what happens. All right, and look at that. The parking plates gets his first defense right away against his fellow compadre, the California Custom Sol-Aire. Race 1. All California Customs. Good run there. 2047 to a 2059. I'm going to call that one and done. Let's move him up. Okay, guys, we're going to go up a row. Let me get out this red Dodge Murata Stalker. I have a few red ones. I think I might have run one recently on camera. Didn't do too well. I know I did. And this one here runs just a little bit better. 51 grams on the nose. Just making it into this weight class. And let's go get the right car. We need to get the California Custom Sol-Aire, not the parking plates. Murata Stalker, lane 1. California Custom Sol-Aire, lane 2. Race 1. All Sol-Aire. That car always ran well and got stronger. 53 to 66. That again. I'm going to switch him up only because I know what that Murata is capable of, but I don't think it can handle the air that Sol-Aire is throwing. I will switch it up. Sol-Aire with a 13 thousandths advantage in lane 1. Murata Stalker, lane 2. See, that time the Murata came back and kicked his ass, and look what it ran. A 38 to a 52. He does beat him by 1/1000th. So we'll move the Sol-Aire backwards 1, and we'll go from there. All right, moving him back, it is the Silver Bullet, who is number 12 in the 51 to 62 metal. And that's the thing, guys. Anything from about number 12 up through my top 24, no matter what they run or where they're ranked or how they match up head to head, they can crack out some incredible single run times. Some of them in the top 24 that are in like the lower section of it can still crack out high 2020s. Really, really stupid. But consistency is going to win the day when you're doing head to head. So right now we have the California Custom Sol-Aire, which has been fairly consistent in lane 1, and the number 12 ranked Silver Bullet in lane 2. That time the Sol-Aire got the better of him. 2054 to a 2062. 8/1000ths advantage. Let's switch it up. Race number 2. Sol-Aire kicked his ass. 2050 to a 2069. I'm not sure that Silver Bullet should be where he is, but that's okay. I am going to try this Sol-Aire one more time against that Murata, and then we'll call it a day with this casting. Instant grudge match. Number where are we at here with this? Did the top 15. So this would be number 12, then the Sol-Aire going against that number 11 Murata Stalker in a grudge match. Race 1. Fair start. All Murata. 2049 to a 2054. 5 1,000ths advantage. Let's switch it up. Race 2. Murata again, he holds his spot. 2045 to a 2053. Murata will be in the 11th spot, and the California Custom Sol-Aire will be number 12. It's pretty cool. We filled out the rankings there. So there's the 15 cars in the 51 to 62 metal category for right now. I'm sure we'll have some others that challenge these ranks or maybe blow through them and try to get into the top 24. All right, guys, let's move on to the Race Bait 308. You know, of all the castings out there, when you're looking at loose cars and you see one of these, I ask myself, is there a more beat up, played with car than the Race Bait 308? These things are a piece of crap when you're out there looking. Even on eBay, I've ordered a couple and the wheels have been dorky and crooked, and the car really isn't in that great a condition. This thing came mint. This thing came with another car. Both of them were just absolutely mint, and I couldn't be more pleased. Now, I haven't run him down the track, so that's what's going to be fun. We're going to see this one together. Let's get his weight, 46.2. Love the weight. Let's get him in the track, and we're going to do some hot laps right now. Hot lap number 1. Eh? 2064. Let's switch it up. You know what? Screw that noise. I didn't wait all these years to get a mint Race Bait 308, which everybody has and everybody says are really, really fast, to run a 2064. So I just did a quick rework on him. I'm going to put him in lane 2. We're going to see this reworked run together. Here we go. We're going to call this one run number 1. Let's see what happens. Not much better. Maybe it'll break in. 2062. Let's switch it up. Hot lap number 2. $20.66. We'll put him up against the gatekeeper, and he's gonna get his ass kicked. These wheels float, guys. They float. All 4 just like that. Let's get him in the ranks. Let's see what he can do. All right, in our 41 to 50 ranks, our gatekeeper is a black Thunderburner. Let's weigh these guys up again. Pretty sure it was 46.2 for the 308. .3. Probably gained weight in graphite that I just put on. 43.9 for the Thunderburner. All right. Track is clear. Thunderburner is in lane 1. Race Bait 308 is in lane number 2. For the gatekeeper spot, race 1. One and done. Thunderburner pulling on him more than a car. 308 can't handle the air. That was a horrible casting. 2052 for the gatekeeper. 2075 for the Race Bait 308. One and done. All right, guys, moving right along. Last but not least, keep digging these out. I don't know how many I have. I'm going to say half a dozen to 7. This is a mint red Noodlehead with really, really good looking pipes, really, really clean paint. The bottom always had to look like this for me to buy it, and the wheels. Let's weigh him up and let's send him down. 69 on the nose. We'll put him in the rack. I'll go set a spacer. We're going to see what this big boy runs. Hot lap number 1. $20.36. Let's switch them up. Hot lap number 2. Consistent. I like that. 20.34. Let's put them up against the Gatekeeper in the top 24 and see what we have. Now guys, just a caveat here. The Noodlehead is a retired casting for me. So even if this guy does get in the ranks, which I think he will, he's not going to be in the top 24. I have him in the 62 and over class, and I really don't run them anymore. I mean, they're just too valuable. I mean, they're going up in value, it seems like, every week. Let's run him up against one of our Gatekeepers. We have a tie. We have a red Sol-Aire. We have this wind splitter. This thing's a jet. It is my fastest wind splitter, and he is my Gatekeeper. Let's see what the Noodlehead can do against a car that weighs much, much less than he does. Wind splitter comes in at 50.5 grams, giving away 18.5 grams to this Noodlehead. Get you a little closer look at the wind splitter. Hong Kong was where it was manufactured. Beautiful car. Fastest one I have. And if it's consistent, I think you'll see why here in about 5 seconds. Race 1. The Noodlehead kicked its ass. Noodlehead getting it done in throwing air. 20.33 to a 20.52. That wind splitter runs high 2030s day in and day out. Not today. All right, guys, we're going to move him up 3 rows. He's going to go up against my points card Sol-Aire. This black beast has really found a home on this track, and at times it knocks out high 2020s, which is amazing. But overall, it just needs to be a little bit more consistent. 60.4 grams. God, that weight is great. That is the heaviest Sol-Aire. I think there's some blue ones that are heavier, but I mean, in terms of the black, that is the heaviest black Sol-Aire I think I have. Maybe the heaviest I've seen out there. That's pretty crazy. Okay. Black Sol-Aire versus that killer Noodlehead. Race number 1. That Noodlehead's crazy. That Noodlehead is crazy. 20.33 for the Sol-Aire. 20.26 for the Noodlehead. Let's switch it up. Noodlehead with a 7/1000th advantage. Race 2. Noodlehead again. This time 20.43 to a 20.48. He moves up. This time we're going to move him up 2 rows against my 9th fastest car, which is the Matchbox Datsun 280Z Starburst wheels. It's my fastest one, guys, my fastest 280. Let's get the weight on him. I like running the lower weight classes, but damn, there is just something about these beasts. You know, I mean, these are my roots. I still have so many cars, guys, that I haven't touched. I have to dig out from back in the day. And I will. But Yeah, there's just some killer rides. It's killer times. Here we go. Red Noodlehead. Matchbox 280Z. Race 1. Noodlehead got him by 4/1000ths. 2039 to a 2043. Switch lanes. Race 2. That time it was the Datsun. By only 2/1000ths, that Noodlehead moves up. 2032 to a 2034. Let's move the Noodlehead up. Next in the rankings is the Maserati Ghibli. I haven't seen this one too much, guys, but this guy remains my fastest under 50-gram car. It is really special. I know a lot of you are having the Ghiblis out there and experiencing the same luck. Scale was on when I was hovering over. There it is, 49.3 against a 69-gram Noodlehead. The Ghibli is in 8th spot. We'll put the Noodlehead this time starting out in lane 1. And this Mattel Fast and Furious Maserati Ghibli in lane 2. These Mattel sometimes need a rework before we race, so what I'll do is if the Ghibli wins, it wins. If it doesn't, we might do a quick rework and revisit this race. Race number 1. 31 for the Noodlehead, 35 for the Ghibli. 4/1000ths advantage. Let's switch it up. All right, guys. No reworks. We're just going to run this race, and if it beats the Ghibli, it beats the Ghibli. We'll move him up. 4/1000ths advantage for the Noodlehead. Race 2. Oh, he's out. That was a great run. 33 to a 44. No doubt there. The Noodlehead moves on. The Ghibli, well, I'm not going to put him in the ranks. He remains in 8th place, but then he got decked by the Noodlehead. Right now, guys, it's getting serious. This is my number 5 car, and it is my fastest Mustang. Okay. He weighs in at 60.7 grams. Let's get him in the line. Will there be a stop finally? The number 5 Mustang against this red hot Noodlehead. No. And that Mustang is reworked 2030 to 2036 because I ran a hot lap with it. It ran a 2028 hot lap. 6/1000ths advantage for the Noodlehead. Let's switch it up. Race 2. That time the Mustang got it, but I don't know if it was by 6/1000ths. 37 to 39. Whew. Noodlehead moves on. Okay, guys, he's going to go up against my number 3. This is my fastest Murata. Yeah, you could say I've worked him a little bit, huh? It's in the dozens of times. This is the car that excites me and frustrates me at the same time. It'll run some of the fastest times that I've seen an under 60-gram car run, and then it'll run like 2045. 52 grams. Let's get a little closer look at this gold black Murata. Yeah, worked to death. Overworked. I think if I would have left it alone at the beginning, he would have been just fine. But I cannot leave well enough alone. That is for certain. And I kind of ruined him. He's number 3, which is good, but he's not consistent. But on his better days, he might rip off a great set of runs. Here we go. Race 1. That is the Noodlehead. Horrible times. 2040, 2042. Let's switch it up. Yeah, the Murata is doing its alter ego today, so it looks like it's going to suck. but it only has two 1000s to make up. Maybe it'll hit a hot run here. Nope. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, the cars that I'm entering in the 40 and under class would kill both of those cars right now. Noodlehead moves on. Okay, guys, I don't know what happened there. We're going to be running them up against my number 2 hot stuff. I don't know if I messed something up there or what, but 72.2 grams. This car has an alter ego. When I'm running it by itself, when it's just me, my jaw drops. I've never seen a car dominate like that. Whenever anybody's around, or when it's on film sometimes, it sucks on ice. Let's see which one it is now. The number 2 in my ranks, hot stuff, versus this red Noodlehead. I think we're finally seeing the hot stuff for what it is. 2039 to 2025, that's almost a one and done, but we will switch it up. That is what I see when it's at its best. A lot of ground to make up. 14 1000ths advantage for the hot stuff funny car. Race 2. Got him again. Top ended him at 32 to a 34. The red Noodlehead is my 3rd fastest car, and I might place him. I don't know. He's so beautiful. I don't want to damage him up. I'll probably put him in a retired section, but just knowing he's number 3 is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and run this hot stuff off against my number 1 car so you guys can see it with me. And the new number 1 car is Evil number 3. He came to me just a few days ago, guys, from this filming. About 5 days ago. I had 2 cars to test. A 40 and under car, and I thought, oh, what the hell? Let's grab this 73.8 gram Evil number 3. And even without dust, he was running high 2030s, low 2040s. Ever since dust, he hasn't lost a race, let alone a round. So a round consists of 2 races. He's never lost. Hot stuff looks pretty damn good today, especially in lane number 3. It's going to be the ultimate test for this new number 1. Can he hold off the hot stuff? He can't. Not today. Bragged him up. The guy was running 20s all day. He runs 40s today. Fantastic. Let's switch it up. Pretty sure 2028 was the slowest that car ever ran. It ran a 2021, setting the track record for this new track. He looked like absolute dog shit right there. Race 2, he's gonna get killed. Oh, I woke up. Maybe he needed a break in. Okay, guys, we're gonna run these again, just in case that Evil number 3 needed a break in. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll keep them where they are. Go round 2, race 1. Evil number 3. 2 fast times. 2028 to a 2030. Let's go to race 2. Race 2. Hot stuff. Did he get it by more than 2 1000s? Yes, he did. 2028 to a 2031. Good race. And just because I gotta know. Evil number 3. 2028. Red Noodlehead. 2029. Let's switch them up. 1 1000th difference for Evil number 3. Race 2. Noodlehead. 31 to a 37. He would be the 2nd fastest car. Evil number 3 is number 3. Well, guys, that is all I have. A little longer race today. That's okay. Wanted you to see some big boys run. Uh, Super disappointed in him because he just kicked ass and took names the day I cracked him open. That's the way it goes, though. He's got to be consistent to be on top. This bad boy is consistent. He's going to go into the retired Hall of Fame here, but just knowing that I have like a second fastest car, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Appreciate y'all with me. And as always, love hearing your comments, feedback, and well wishes. And I like checking out your channels too. So for right now, I'm signing off, but I appreciate you. We'll catch you soon.